This is Hannibal here from the HannibalTV.com, wearing one of my Hannibal hoodies that you can buy on our Great North Wrestling merchandise page, which the link is in the description. And I'm about to do my review of Dave Meltzer's Wrestling Observer newsletter, the points I find interesting. Vince McMahon's mother, passed away at the age of 101. Apparently, WWE does not want Jeff Hardy to go to AEW. Apparently, the head of talent relations, John Laurinaitis, has been trying to convince Jeff Hardy to come back and even put in an offer to have him inducted into the 2022 Hall of Fame class if he's willing to come back. Hardy apparently wants to get the drug test results because he knew that he didn't test positive for recreational drugs, and apparently it took 6 weeks for them to get the results back to him for whatever he tested positive for. I don't know what the reason was, why he left. Apparently he left the ring during a house show and just left the match early. He hasn't been seen since, but apparently the feeling is they don't want him to go to AEW because the Hardy Boys as a team is very marketable. So at this point, they're going to try and get him back, but AEW can't legally make him an offer yet until his contract fully expires March the 9th. Ronda Rousey is supposed to be returning at the Royal Rumble. That's the big rumor, and that's happening tonight. I am going to watch the Royal Rumble and review it. And apparently she's going to be in WrestleMania too, according to this. That's what the rumors are. Apparently, Disney has purchased the rights to the WWE network for Indonesia. WWE's workforce has declined 18% over the past 2 years. There's going to be an NXT show at this year's WrestleMania weekend. It will be the first NXT show outside the Performance Center since before the pandemic. Apparently, Triple H, there's no news on when he's going to return. He's still taking care of his health issues. Brian Kendrick, who is an NXT coach right now, has apparently asked for his release. Hasn't been granted yet, but he hasn't been at the last few NXT tapings. Tickets for WWE's Madison Square Garden show March 5th aren't selling too well. There's only 3,155 tickets total out. So they've added Brock Lesnar to the card. So right now they have Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Seth Rollins, and Big E. And in the New York market, they only have just over 3,000 tickets out, including comps. AEW Dynamite did a 0.41 rating this week, and they drew 5,900 paid fans for their Beach Break special. Rampage did a 0.24 last week. It was taped in Washington, D.C. in front of 2,800 paid. NXT did a 0.14 rating. Raw did a 0.46 rating with 5,500 paid, 6,589 in the building. So they papered it over 1,000. SmackDown did a 0.64 rating, and this was the first sellout WWE has had in a long time. In Toledo, Ohio, they had 6,302 fans with 5,500 paid. Apparently, the CM Punk versus MJF match is happening Wednesday in Chicago, has 4,910 tickets out. So that's considerably less than his United Center debut. But obviously, the newness is going to wear off. Still decent ticket sales for a non-WWE show. Frankie Kazarian has signed a new deal with AEW. Leo Rush, his contract expires February 14th, and he's going to be a free agent at that time. Danhausen has signed with AEW. Due to COVID outbreaks, New Japan has canceled all their shows until February 6th. Don Fry, who I consider a friend, he's only 56, but he walks around. I mean, let's just say the years of fighting took his toll on him. He walks around looking a lot older than that. Apparently, he was at UFC 270 in Anaheim, and a fan punched him with a jab. They got into an argument, but security pulled the fan away, and Fry said he thought the guy was drunk, and Fry pretty much finished watching the rest of the show with no further incidents. So that's pretty much all the news for today. As I said, I am going to watch the Royal Rumble tonight at a viewing party that Blaze invited me to. So I will let you know what I think of the Royal Rumble. Colonel Quayle says hello. Nick checking in from Peterborough. Alan says excellent Wrestling Observer review. Paulie's snowed in New York. By the way, I did do an interview with Barry Windham earlier today that I suggest people check out. He was actually much more talkative in the interview today than he was in the first interview I did with him. Wayne is getting ready to watch the Royal Rumble. Bill Ottawa is not taking any drug tests. Jackson says 2 former divas take selfies at Royal Rumble Stadium. No one can keep a secret. Well, I heard Melina is actually going to be at the Royal Rumble this year in it, and I think that's pretty cool because 4 years ago at the Royal Rumble in Philadelphia, she wasn't even invited to it, even though she was in town, and I ended up hanging out with her and Ted Hart and a bunch of other people that night 4 years ago. So it's funny that all these years later, she's actually going to be in the Royal Rumble. DJ says that Matt and Jeff are probably going to be in AEW together. Someone checking in for the truckers that are filling up downtown Ottawa right now. Yes, they sure are. Definitely. BPJ says he's a big fan of Hannibal. Appreciate it. Now with another one saying Hannibal is wrestling. Thank you. Someone says CM Punk is overrated. David, yes, Don Fry is a badass. Keeter says thanks for the wrestling updates. Well, I appreciate it. I like Melina too. Jackson, she's a really nice girl, down to earth. And I'm going to get going. Got some stuff to do. Going to make myself some supper. Just did my afternoon workout, drinking a protein shaker full of beet juice. So please subscribe and like this video and have a good night. If you're watching the Royal Rumble, enjoy. I'm checking out. Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please help me out and like this video. Then click the subscribe and get notifications buttons so you don't miss any of my latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates.